Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TW Local to Global 1987. We're back with some GCW. We're here on June 16th, 1997, booking GCW Fuel number 122. We're in the Great Lakes in front of 7,656 fans. We're opening the show with a pre-show match. We've got the Godwins getting a victory in a squash match over Terry Richards and Christopher Harrison. Christopher Harrison is, of course, Chris Harris, and Terry Richards is Rhino. But right now, they're just jobbers. So Henry pins Terry with the slot trap. 34. Still in pre-show, John Cronus and Kendall Windham face off. Windham gets the victory with that pump handle slam. 60s for the both of them. Or 61 and 60. Ahmed Johnson defeats Eddie Von Hammer in the main event of the pre-show with that spine buster. 52 for Ahmed, 50 for Eddie Von Hammer. Gets a 43. We're opening the show with Diamond Dallas Page cutting a promo on him being the future GCW World Champion. He faces The Rock for the GCW title in the main event of Defiance, which is going to be later this month. I believe it's next week. Yes. It is, in fact, next week. So next week's show. So next episode. Mankind faces off against Bradshaw in our opening contest. This is a Summer Series first round matchup, and Mankind does get the victory over Bradshaw with that double arm DDT, which means he advances to the quarterfinals, where he will be facing Kane, because Kane got the victory over Billy Gunn last week. We've got another Summer Series first round matchup in the main event. It's The Undertaker versus Road Dogg. So anyway, this gets an 82, so not too bad. Afterwards, Mean Gene Okerlund interviews Mankind on the Summer Series and him advancing. He faces Kane next week, so he's... Is it next week? It is not next week. I apologize. He does not face Kane next week. He faces him on July 7th. So this gets a 90. I believe Canyon's cutting a promo, and then Chris Benoit comes out. Yeah, Canyon's cutting a promo. Hardcore champion. Chris Benoit comes out. They exchange words. Gets a 60. We've got a three-way cruiserweight matchup. The winner receives a cruiserweight championship opportunity against Juventud Guerrera on pay-per-view. And Rey Mysterio defeats Chavo and Billy Kidman when Rey pinned Chavo with the springboard Hurricane Rana. And Rey carried that match, 83. Shane Douglas, Intercontinental Champion, cuts a backstage promo on Booker T. Not much to say about that, gets a 68. Dean Malenko cuts a promo in the ring. He turned on Eddie Guerrero last week, and he says Eddie will be going down at Defiance, and Dean will win the television championship. So 65. Triple H gets a victory over D'Lo Brown next with a pedigree in 1322. So not too bad. Unfortunately, they don't seem to click, so it makes it hard for me to check where they are in terms of in-ring capabilities. But that's okay, because next up we've got Triple H and Shawn Michaels cutting a promo, and Chris Jericho and Chris Candido come out. And next week we're going to get Triple H versus Chris Jericho. So that'll help me decide or know how good they are in the ring. Gets an 80. Steve Austin cuts a promo, and Paul Bearer and Ken Shamrock end up coming out. Shamrock and Austin are facing off in the quarterfinals of the Summer Series, and that match will be taking place at Defiance. So this gets a 78. And then our main event, The Undertaker gets a victory over the Road Dogg with the choke slam, gets an 87, and advances in the Summer Series tournament. So ends our show with an 87. Not too bad. We will be taking that. Popularity goes up in Japan and in Mexico and Europe. No complaints. We've still got an episode of Rival TV to book, so I've got the skid. I've got it right next to me. I've got the booking. So let's go do that, and then we'll end off the episode. Alright, so we got some releases. What's going on in the news? Anything important? Doesn't appear that way. Let's go to GCW, see what's going on over here. Jeff Farmer got hired, that's fine. Al Green, Caprice Coleman left. Bunch of guys left. Yeah, he's just not going to get pushed. Don't worry, Austin. Good TV ratings. Alright. We're good for GCW. Let's get over to Rival Pro. And let's book that show. Our next pay-per-view is Death Blow, and it's in 39 days. Alright. Taking that off. Pick best option. Skip that. What do you got for locker room incidents? Yeah, sure. Come on in. Super crazy. Sorry, Vito. Alright. So, we're opening the show with the new Rival Pro Heavyweight Champion, Rob Van Dam, cutting a promo. And X-Pac will come out. That's an 8-minute segment. This will lead them to have a match in the main event for... Did it not copy over? Or? This will lead to them having a match in the main event for the GCW Rival Pro Heavyweight Championship. Next up, we've got Alex Wright versus Justin Credible. And Alex Wright gets the victory in 11 minutes. And then we're going to have a hype package for Rikishi. And that's going to be hyping his debut soon. It's going to be a outside broadcast, it's going to be a video, it's going to be pre-taped. Rikishi, coming soon. And then we're going to have Edge and Christian cut a promo. Alright, and we're going to have Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley coming out. Alright, that can be 9 minutes. Alright, then we're going to have the Rival Pro Television Champion, Goldberg, facing off against Norman Smiley. And it's going to be a 1-minute match for the Television Championship. And Goldberg will destroy Norman Smiley. Sorry, Norman. After that, Goldberg's going to cut a promo. So, Goldberg. Promo. Who's next? Stevie Ray will come out. That's going to be 4 minutes. Alright, and then we're going to have our main event. Rob Van Dam versus X-Pac. 17-minute match for the Rival Pro Heavyweight Championship with Rob Van Dam getting that win. And afterwards, we're going to have an attack from Marvelous Mark Merrow, and he's going to attack Rob Van Dam. And that's 5 minutes. Perfect. And let's run it. Starting us off, we've got RVD cutting that promo. You know, he was victorious on pay-per-view, beating Taz and becoming the new champion. X-Pac comes out, he wants a title match, and they're going to settle it tonight. Alex Wright gets a victory over Justin Credible with that neck breaker. Alex Wright, pulling out decent scores. 60 is not bad. 59. We've got a Rikishi hype package. He's going to be making his debut soon. We've got Edge and Christian, the tag team champions, the new tag team champions, getting a promo, and the Dudleys end up coming out. The Dudleys are the new #1 contenders against Edge and Christian and the tag titles. So 51. Goldberg gets a victory over Norman Smiley in 54 seconds with that spear. Makes defense number 6 of the television championship. And afterwards, he cuts a promo. He's like, who's next? And Stevie Ray ends up coming out. And we have a little stare down between the two. Main event time. Rob Van Dam gets a victory over X-Pac, making defense number 1 of the Rival Pro Heavyweight Championship. And this gets a 67, so not too bad. But afterwards, Marvelous Mark Merrow attacks RVD, which ends our show within 61, so not too bad. Popularity goes up all over the United States. Rick Steiner. So we'll be taking that. Decent show. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, we're done here. Any news for GCW? Nope. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of GCW. Make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe if you want more. In the next episode, we will be continuing the summer series, and we will be seeing an episode of Fuel, an episode of Rival Pro. We're also going to be seeing the Defiance pay-per-view, 1997. The main event being Diamond Dallas Page versus The Rock for the GCW World Championship. And that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.